This is an example from Unit S, Concept 4, 105 degrees. To find U, angle U, we will multiply the half angle by 2 to get 210 degrees. And we know that 210 degrees actually appear in the unit circle, which give us the point negative radical 3 over 2 and negative 1 over 2. However, when we're trying to find the positive and negative sign and what quadrant is the the angle actually appear, we will look only at the half angle. U divided by 2 is in quadrant 2, which tell us that sine is positive and cosine is negative. To find sine 105 degrees, we use the half angle formula, which is positive and negative radical 1 minus positive and negative radical of 1 minus cosine u over 2. You see that I did not write down the negative sign because from quadrant 2, sine is only positive. Using the point that we found earlier, we plug it into the equation, and we know that negative radical 3 over 2 is cosine, negative 1 over 2 is sine. Because they're asking for cosine, we will use negative radical 3 over 2. The negative with negative will give us a positive. Next step, we will multiply 1 by the common denominator which is 2. We get 2 plus radical 3 over 2 over 2, and we square root it. Because we cannot combine the top part anymore, what we will do next is multiply the denominator by the reciprocal. We get 2 and 2 cancel out. However, the top we get 2 times 2 make 4. The numerator remain the same, and then the square root still remain there. As you can see, the square root is for the top and the bottom, and radical 4 will give us 2. However, the top cannot be simplified any longer. So that will be our answer for sine 105 degrees. Next, we find cosine of 105 degrees, which is really similar to sine 105 degrees, except we have the negative sign in front of the radical due to the quadrant 2, and we have 1 plus cosine u, but for sine we get 1 minus cosine u. So we're doing the same thing by plugging point x into the formula, which is negative radical 3 over 2. And then we multiply 1 with the common denominator of 2, and we get 2 minus radical 3 over 2 over 2, and then square root it with a negative sign. Next, we will multiply by the denominator reciprocal, the reciprocal of the denominator, and 2 times 2 times 1/2 is cancel out, which make it 1. The top part we get 2 times 2, which make it 4, and numerator remain the same. So we see that radical 4 will give us a 2. However, the top we cannot simplify any longer. And remember that we still have the negative sign. Next, for tangent. Tangent, we will not worry about the positive or negative sign because the number will help us figure it out either positive or negative. So we plug in the point negative radical 3 over 2 and negative 1 over 2. Negative with negative will give us a positive. Next, we will multiply 1 by common denominator, which is 2. And we get 2 plus radical 3 over 2, all over negative 1 over 2. And you can see that denominator of the numerator will cancel out with the denominator of the denominator. And that will give us 2 plus radical 3 over negative 1. Negative, I move the negative to in front to make it less complicated, and then when something over 1 will give us the same thing. So remember that the negative sign will distribute it into each of the number. So we have 2 options for our answer, and they are the same. Thank you for watching.